Good afternoon, traders. It is Wednesday, October 15th, 2014, and the U.S. stock market is closed. If you saw my video yesterday, you know I was complaining bitterly about the phony midday rally we had yesterday put us into 17 markets, then turned around and faded, leaving us with 17 markets, and practically every one of them was losing money. We were down negative $14,000 on the close. That looked terrible because I could look at those charts and say that thing's going down a lot more today. And now, if I told you, given the fact that we were negative 14,000 on the close yesterday, and today the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged nearly 500 points at one point of the day, you might reasonably think that those markets finally finished off Bob Baran and his crazy trading systems. And I think early this morning, shortly after the open, I would have agreed with you. I thought it was Armageddon this morning. I thought the skies were falling. That negative 14,000, it turned to about negative 35,000 on our open trade equity within the first 10 minutes of the day this morning. I just thought, this is it. I'm gonna take out my money. I'm not gonna trade anymore and close this stupid website and take up golfing. That's the way I felt this morning. But markets are crazy, and you gotta, try and study markets. You might go crazy yourself, and I felt a little crazy today. But unbelievably, as this Dow was just plunging, and I was looking at volatility in these individual markets that I just have never seen in a long, long time, just going all over the place. But somehow we started making some money in some of these stocks, and it was just amazing. And stocks that looked like they were just absolutely pancaked out earlier this morning started to come back to the point where even though we didn't make a lot of money in them, we got back to above break even with them. Just incredible. And so after this insane day, when the dust settled, I calculated everything, keeping in mind we were negative 35,000 10 minutes after the open this morning. We closed out negative $9,000 in our closed out trades, negative $9,000, but we are holding over $10,000 in open trade equity. So add those things together, it looks like we actually made a little money today, which is just like unbelievable. To go from negative $35,000 to making a little bit of money, that's a swing. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm smiling today. Some people may think I'm crazy, but I'm going to tell you something. I was talking about, I wanted to see this market, the Dow Jones, get down to 16,000. Well, it got down to 16,000. It went actually below 16,000 today, and then it came back and it closed above 16,000. Given that, plus what I saw today in some of the individual stocks, I'm saying we are at or very close to the bottom of this thing, and we're going to see a turnaround. And so I'm happy. I don't care who, this has been absolutely horrible to what's happened here in October, but I think we may see the light of the tunnel here. We may even be out of the tunnel. We'll see what happens, but something changed today. So there was a real change today, and the sentiment changed, and I think we're going to see quite a bit of buying come into this overall market right now. Anyway, that's the way it went. Dow ended up closing down 173. That would normally be a big drop, but as I say, it was down pretty close to negative 500 at one point in the day. Anyway, I'll show you some of the more interesting charts. Okay, we're looking at the Dow here, and I kind of expanded this thing so that we could pretty much focus on yesterday and today. You know, yesterday we had this phony rally in here in the midday, and this is what got us into 17 stocks, and virtually all of them were bad on the close. And it's interesting that many of those 17 actually went positive in this environment that you're seeing here today. This was an incredible trading day. You watch markets as long as I have. You don't see many days like this. The range here in the Dow Jones Industrial Average was almost 500 points today. But what's even more incredible, look at this first bar here. This is the first 15 minutes. That bar is over 400 points in range. I mean, that's a lot of volatility in only 15 minutes. And it was when this thing was down here that I was looking at our open trade and seeing negative $35,000 on it. We went from negative 14,000 up here to about negative 35,000 right here. But it had a terrific bounce. I mean, there was short covering and bargain hunting, buying, and everything that really came in down here. And this thing popped up really fast. And I don't know how it happened, but in this pop-up, even though the overall market is very negative here, it was a very strong pop-up. We ended up buying quite a bit of stuff here. And so not only are we carrying the negatives from yesterday, now we're long a bunch of stuff. And as this slide came down here, all that started to go negative again. And I was really, I wasn't even sure how much money we had lost at that point. I could hardly watch it. It was just absolutely horrible. But this thing bottomed out down here, and as I say, we were down pretty close to negative 500 at this low point, and then the thing starts climbing again and ended up closing down 173. But on this climb, we got out of everything from yesterday. Surprisingly, I would say almost half of those things we got out of was with a small profit. And that was just amazing, considered that up here, none of that stuff had profit. It made some profit down here. And then, the thing continued to move, and by the time it closed, we had over $10,000 on this stuff that we had bought over here. And so, obviously there's some resilience that have come back into our portfolio. The buyers are back in here. They're bidding these stocks up, and we're not seeing the stocks failing the way we have for nearly 2 weeks here. So I am encouraged by this action. That's all I can say. I'm encouraged by it, and I think we're going to see some serious buying come into this market. I'll show you just a couple kind of interesting individual trades. This first one is in Parker Drilling, and I'm showing you just because talking about going from horrible to much better in only a day. We on Monday we had bought Parker Drilling right up here. Absolutely high tick of the day. Worst place to buy that you could imagine. And then of course yesterday slam right on the open, and that cost us over $3,000. And I was just just an absolutely senseless, worthless trade. Well, yes, and yesterday it still drifted lower. I was glad we got out of it, but today it comes in and it really starts to rally, and it's got to rally a long ways to get us in after such a wide range day the previous day. But yeah, it did get us in, and the thing keeps going, and it closes on its high. None of this failing stuff anymore. I think traders perceive it hit the bottom, and now it's going to go up. And so we got in, and we're holding about $2,500 positive in Parker Drilling going into tomorrow. And then I'll show you that this was the big surprise of the day, and very pleasant surprise, I might add. This is Mankind Corporation, and we had just got into this yesterday, almost on the close, and I was not happy about this. This looked to me like just another sucker trade. I didn't want to be in it. It was slightly negative on the close, etc., etc., etc. Well, this morning, Mankind Corporation just exploded, and it exploded so strong that we didn't get out of it. We're hanging on to it for another day, and we're up close to $6,000 in open trade in Mankind Corporation. So we got an outlier there on top of everything, and it looks really good. So that's the way it went on one of the wildest trading days I have seen all year round. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday.